Hello, you're watching the 14th episode of Science News. Today, we'll talk about processes that usually remain hidden from direct observation, the slow, almost imperceptible mechanisms that shape the universe, life, and even our own bodies. We'll be talking about galaxies that stop forming stars, viruses that may have influenced the emergence of complex life, new space missions, and the possibility of restoring aging joints. Scientists have finally found a convincing explanation for why some massive galaxies in the universe stop forming new stars and remain quiet for billions of years. The key to the mystery turned out to be connected to a rare type of object known as red geysers. There aren't many such galaxies, just a few percent of all nearby inactive galaxies, but they behave in a particularly unusual way. At their center lies a supermassive black hole surrounded by cold gas. However, this gas does not fall inward rapidly and chaotically. On the contrary, it moves slowly, smoothly, and in an orderly fashion, as if being carefully fed to the black hole in a thin stream. Observations have shown that the speed of this movement is several times lower than expected, and it is this slow feeding that allows the black hole to remain active but not destructive. It releases just enough energy to heat the surrounding gas and prevent it from collapsing into new stars, without ejecting matter from the galaxy. The effect of interactions with neighbors turned out to be especially interesting. Galaxies that have experienced minor collisions or gravitational disturbances contain noticeably more of this inflowing gas. Cosmic encounters seem to add fuel, maintaining this delicate balance. As a result, scientists have, for the first time, obtained direct evidence of a self-regulating mechanism that allows galaxies to age peacefully without being destroyed or forming new stars. Researchers from Japan have discovered a previously unknown giant virus that could change our understanding of how complex life appeared on Earth. The new virus, named Ushikovirus, was found inside single-celled amoebas and belongs to a rare class of giant DNA viruses. These viruses are so large and complex that, in their properties, they are somewhere between viruses and fully fledged cells. Ushikovirus behaves unusually even by the standards of its giant relatives. Instead of quietly reproducing inside the cell, it destroys the host's nuclear envelope and completely restructures the cell's internal organization to suit its own needs. This is more like a takeover than parasitism. Such behavior has attracted the interest of scientists because it resembles processes characteristic of eukaryotic cells, the very ones that make up plants, animals, and humans. There is a hypothesis that ancient viruses may have played a role in the formation of the cell nucleus, a key feature of complex life. For a long time, this idea was considered controversial, but new discoveries like Ushikovirus are lending it more credibility. Scientists emphasize that this is not direct evidence of the origin of eukaryotes. However, such viruses appear to be living artifacts of ancient evolutionary experiments that took place billions of years ago. The discovery serves as a reminder that viruses are not just incidental parasites of life, but perhaps active participants in its earliest stages of evolution. NASA is preparing to launch a new group space mission called Twilight, which is scheduled to begin in January 2026. A Falcon 9 rocket will carry 3 scientific satellites at once, each with its own specific mission. The main one is Pandora, a compact space telescope designed to study the atmospheres of exoplanets. Despite its relatively small size, it is capable of conducting high-precision observations in both the visible and infrared ranges. Pandora will repeatedly observe the same star systems in order to separate signals coming from planetary atmospheres from interference caused by the activity of the stars themselves. This is especially important when searching for chemical elements potentially associated with habitable conditions. Along with it, 2 CubeSat-format mini-satellites will also be launched into space. The first, Black Cat, will track powerful cosmic bursts, including gamma-ray bursts. The second, SPOX, will focus on observing red dwarfs and their ultraviolet activity. All 3 devices will operate in low Earth orbit and will complement the data from larger missions such as TESS and the James Webb Telescope. This launch demonstrates how small and relatively inexpensive devices can play an important role in modern astronomy. Scientists from Stanford University have made an important step toward treating osteoarthritis, one of the most common joint diseases. The focus was on the protein 15-PGDH, whose levels increase with age. This protein interferes with the molecules responsible for tissue repair and inflammation suppression. Experiments on elderly mice showed that if the action of 15-PGDH is blocked, the damaged cartilage in the knee joint begins to regenerate and thicken, and this effect was observed even without the use of stem cells. Instead, the cartilage's own cells, chondrocytes, shifted to a healthier state and began to support the tissue more actively. The animal's gait improved and signs of pain decreased. A similar effect was observed in samples of human cartilage obtained during joint replacement surgeries. The tissue became denser and showed fewer signs of inflammation. The researchers emphasize that clinical trials are still ahead, but similar drugs have already demonstrated good safety in the past. In the future, this could lead to treatments that not only relieve pain, but actually restore joints and help avoid their replacement. All these studies are united by one idea. The most important changes often occur not through sudden events, but through slow, steady processes. Whether it's the evolution of galaxies, the origin of life, the operation of space instruments, or the regeneration of tissues in our bodies. This was the 14th episode of the Science News.